Hey there everybody, this is Caitlin here and welcome back to our Force of Will spoilers. Sadly we didn't have this video up yesterday or whatnot because I was so busy at the Star Deck tournament, but now we're playing a little bit of catch up. I'm getting around to it, so my apologies. This time around we are back to just having Ancient Knight spoilers and whatnot because obviously the starter decks are now out, we don't need to spoil about them anymore, so we are going on to spoil about Ancient Knights. And this time we're looking at a little bit of support for pandas, obviously, so for the panda starter deck that we were discussing a couple of weeks back, whatever, it was the first starter deck spoiler we actually get to see. So first up we have a 1-drop resonator. The White Cat of Sasaru Palace is a light resonator, just one light, 200-200, obviously a cat, kind of like a fat Tama, if you will. When this card is put into a graveyard from the field, gain a gem of any attribute. A gem, I mean, if I could even pronounce the word gem, that would be fantastic. Well, looking at this artwork here, it is a little bit creepy. The face it's pulling is it's a little bit odd. It was curiosity that led to the discovery of gems. So this is one of those ones where an argument can be made whether there's any net worth in stuff that does things when it goes to grave as opposed to when it enters the field. There would be an argument around that way with that you could play around, say, Abdul, because obviously Abdul stops enter effects, but it doesn't stop things from entering the graveyard and whatnot. So you could get a little bit of value off of it from that angle. Obviously, some people want the immediate reward for playing something as opposed to waiting for something to die in order to get a reward. So I'm not too sure. Some people might prefer this than a simple enter ability and whatnot. But next up we have a Gem Minister Garnet, who's a 3-drop resonator. She is a 3 light, a 500-900 panda. She's actually looking pretty awesome. I like the hairstyle she's got in here. It kind of reminds me a little bit of May from Overwatch, the kind of swooshy hair with a little bun at the back. So kind of interesting. When this card enters the field, gain a gem of an attribute, draw a card. See what I mean here, where it's instant gratification for your paying your cost here. Lord Pearlshine is always asking the impossible. I wish he'd worry about things a little more. So this looks like it's like her, not her. It looks like it's Lord Pearlshine's kind of advisor or gem minister. So I guess she's in charge of the distribution of gems and whatnot. I'm not quite sure whether gems are their currency or whether it's some kind of rare kind of kind of material or whatever that's similar to somehow some races have ore or iron or steel or something like that. Maybe gems are their kind of wealth and whatnot. So I don't know, but she seems like an interesting resonator. Kind of said that she's got kind of lame attack and whatnot. She kind of makes up for the defense and the fact that you're getting a gem and also a card draw, but it kind of not too sure about it. I like it. I think it could do well for the panda deck or whatnot. I just feel like that 500 attack for a 3 cost is just a little bit less. This next card, however, is so creepy. The artwork is actually kind of terrifying, and I think it's to do with the eyes. The eyes are absolutely horrific. This card is going to haunt my nightmares. It is Shinshin and Reiya Acrobatic Twins. It's a 5-drop resonator for 2 light and 3 void, 1000. When this card enters the field, you may banish 2 light gems. If you do, search your deck for a panda and put it into the field, then shuffle your deck. So it's quite expensive search because not only are you paying 5 for this resonator itself, but you are also having to banish 2 light gems. So it is quite an expensive cost, and I guess it just depends on what panda that you're pulling out, because obviously you're paying 5. At the most, you'd maybe want to get say a 4-drop like the Diamond Panda from the starter deck, because he has pretty decent, I think he's a 4-drop anyway, or he might be a 5-drop. I'm pretty sure he's a 4-drop though, because I don't think any of I believe some of the bigger drop ones were in the other decks or whatever, but I can't really remember. So this is a little bit of a weird one. I'm not too sure about it. At the same time, the artwork is really putting me off, the kind of just the card art in general. Those eyes are just really scary. Also, the heads don't seem to be proportionate to the bodies. The boy panda or whatever, his head seems too big, but the girl panda, she just doesn't seem to have a butt. She just has a tail sticking out the bottom of the dress. She doesn't seem to have, she has a really small body. So I am not too sure how to feel about that. That might just be the weird perspective or whatever from this artwork, but I digress. Acrobatics are the forefront of panda culture. The twins are prodigies of the art that have captivated many. So I guess pandas like acrobatics now, so that's kind of interesting. Next up we have Gemblade Emerald, a 4-cost resonator who looks really cute. I'm not going to lie, this artwork is actually really nice. I quite like the way that the archer has been detailed here. She is a 4-cost, she's 2 light and 2 void, 800 resonator panda. When this card enters the field, recover up to 4 target magic stones if you control a wind gem. So essentially, you could say you used the twins, you brought her out, so that way you could recover up to 4 target magic stones. So essentially you could recover 4 of your stones that you used playing the panda twins, whatever. So you got so you only paid 1 for them technically, as long as you have 1 gem or whatever. Or, you know, you could pay this for free essentially, pay the 4 and play this and then recover your stones and whatnot if you have a 1 gem. It's very interesting. I feel like this would make a good inclusion into any panda deck or whatever, especially because it's got that mechanic of recovering stones. And as we all know, recovering stones is quite important for like getting some good plays out and whatnot. It's said that 1 gems clears one's mind and heart. So at least this gem, as opposed to the other gems, is kind of good in a way. It's not inciting hatred or no mercy or whatnot. Next up, we have a bit of a surprising addition to the pandas. We have Orphica, I think that's how you say it, Orphica, Dancer in the White Mist, a 2-drop light resonator, if I could even speak today, honest to God. She's a 2-drop, so she's got 2 light. She's a 400, so it's kind of weak for 2 cost. She's a dragonoid. She gives pandas plus 200, which is very odd to see for a dragonoid, giving pandas. I think it would have been better if like she gave light resonators 200, not just pandas. I think it would have made it a lot more versatile, especially in like the old Millium dragonoid deck. It would have been better. But anyway, when this card enters the field, you can remove another target resonator from the game at the next end of turn and put it into the field under its owner's control. When this card is put into a graveyard from the field, search your deck for a panda, reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. So she's still mainly for pandas, but at the same time, she's got like a sort of like a Lumia ability here. So it's whenever she enters the field, you remove a target resonator from the game at the next end of turn, put it into your field. So you could use this you could use this in particular to kind of recycle things with, say, enter abilities and whatnot. So you could maybe use it to spam like gaining gems and whatnot just by removing it, but it's only when it enters the field. So I'm not too sure how to feel about that. It would have been better if maybe it was like maybe every time that this card attacks, or you could maybe tap it and use it, but I'm not too sure. Obviously, when she dies, she gets to search for a panda, so that's also kind of good. I just feel like it would have been better if maybe she just gave light resonators plus 200, and then at least she could have been used in other dragonoid decks. It just feels like maybe this set in particular is too focused on the starter decks and the cards in the set. It feels like not many of them are very splashable with Lapis Cluster in particular, which I can understand why, because they're kind of pushing for the starter decks and whatnot and for people to jump on board. But it feels like so far we're not really seeing maybe too much synergy between the 2 clusters so far. At the bottom here it says, "Do not fear, my children, we shall hide here." Not sure who we're hiding from. But next up we have the Heavy Arms Panda. Another 4-drop, 2 light and 2 void. Again, 800. So the same stats and whatnot as Emerald. This card gains 400 as long as there are 3 or more different attributes among all your gems you control. Which, considering that we can use some cards from the start deck to pick the colour of gems that we have, we can easily have 3 different colours. Weights become strength. And there's not really much else to say really about this one. Next up, we have a chant. I was going to say Kachant. I can speak today, obviously. It's probably because it's later in the day and I'm really struggling to talk. It's called Discovery. It is a 1-drop quick cast. Gain a gem of any attribute. Draw a card. So you can easily just like combo this with the other card and just make sure that you've got 3 gems of different colours and whatnot. You get a card draw, which is pretty good. Another excellent turn of events, says Tigris or Tigris, whatever we're calling him. I'm going to call him Tigris, I think. Tigris sounds cool. And then next up we have Jewel Protection, another 1-cost chant. This one's not quite cast, sadly, but it is pretty good. You gain a gem of any attribute, then you may banish a gem. If you do, prevent all damage that would be dealt to target resonator by sources that share an attribute with the gem banished this way until end of turn. That resonator gains a barrier from the banished gem's attribute until end of turn. So this is another reason why you want to have a good array of colours in your gems, because obviously you don't know what your opponent is necessarily playing until they flip their ruler, and even then it's not guaranteed what colours they're playing. So it's kind of good to have like at least an out of protection that isn't just Zero's barrier of protection and whatnot, or her circle of protection. I can't remember the exact name of it. So this is kind of nice. Kind of sad that it's only on your turn essentially, because it's not quick cast, so you can't really play this on your opponent's turn, which I can understand maybe why, although I think it would have been better if you could have quick cast in this, because obviously it would be better to have barrier from things on your opponent's turn, because that's when your opponent is making some serious plays. And the bottom here it says, "What's wrong, Gil? Don't tell me you're going soft." Tigris Power Trunks. Maybe Tigris and Gil are fighting, because you know he kind of looks like he's put up a barrier and there's some kind of fiery explosion going on over there. I would have thought that maybe Carrick was the one who had fire and whatnot. Maybe Gil is using some kind of elemental magic to produce fire. I have no idea, but I wonder if they are friend or foe at this point, because they all seem to be traveling to the castle together, so it would have been weird if maybe they're foe at this point. I'm not too sure. I'm really keen to find out the lore articles and whatnot about Reiya Cluster. I'm really curious to find out the interactions between the different races and whatnot, and the different kind of leaders of like the different races and everything like that. So anyway, guys, that has been the spoilers from today. Next time, I believe the spoiler won't be out until it's either, I can't remember if it's early Friday or late Friday, so technically we'd be covering it on Saturday. I can't really remember too much. It might be the Friday in particular. It might be the Friday. But anyway, I will probably see you guys on Friday for our next scheduled video. Tonight, I will be doing a live stream for Dead by Daylight later on. I'm not quite sure what time exactly. Probably about 9 o'clock for UK time or something like that. So just keeping a little eye on it. There will obviously be a video out, and I will put a tweet out obviously when that video goes up. So until next time, guys, I will see you all later.